Hey, 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 hey. How y'all doing? I see you out there in Lurkerland and live and alert on the north side of the dirt. It is your man D Real. It's Thursday. So it's time for my Thursday live. I got a lot of stuff I want to talk about. Well, not a lot. One, two, three, four, five, six topics, which I think will be of very intense engagement. So y'all gonna want to rock with this. Y'all gonna want to rock for this. I see my man not Anansi, Kamoyo, but Anansi's here too. So thank both of you for pulling up. And then the other 5, 6 people, so I will wait for y'all to pull up when y'all pull up because I deal with CP, and that means I have to deal with CP time. What's going on, Groovy? Groovy in the building. What's happening, dog? Ain't nothing. Ain't nothing. Just a small thing to a giant. You know how we do it. Right there. Okay. I just want to make sure I got everything I'm supposed to have before I hit you where I hit you. Oh, see, I don't. It's a good thing I double check. See, it's always nice to double check and see where things are. Like I said, I give y'all a few more minutes. Look like some of y'all gonna need a few minutes to get in here. I hope your sensibilities are sensible because I'm gonna be saying sensible stuff, and if your sensibilities ain't sensible, it's gonna hurt. What are you talking about, D? I'm talking about things like the Epstein files, and the MAGA mindset. If you soft, if you are one who tends to deflect a lot, if you are one who only gets your facts from right-leaning news sources, you're not gonna like me. So I just let you know ahead of time. Don't even bother if you are of that mindset, because like I said, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt. Period. A lot of y'all pulled up for the Black Panther 60th anniversary talk. Yeah. I am going to do that. I'm going to do that thing. Might hurt a little bit. Might hurt. Unpopular take. But sometimes necessary. I got a square off that I saw today. I don't know what to make of it. So I'm going to share it with y'all. And I want y'all to tell me what y'all make of this square up. And then, of course, I have new comics and I have a new action figure. So there's going to be quite a bit to talk about. I'm hoping y'all stick around for the majority of it. I see my brother done slid into the building. What up, Theo? What up? And I see like 5, 6 more people that's gonna sit back. Okay, y'all sit on back. How was your day? It was a very blah kind of day here in Anchorage, Alaska. I don't think the weather was ready to make up its mind what it wanted to do, so it didn't do anything. Just overcast skies and snow. Not a lot of snow, but enough snow to let you know, hey, it's winter. I'm still waiting for that big one to come down. It hasn't dropped yet. We just got that initial snow, and everybody act like dumbasses when you get that initial snow and be wrecking and fender bendering and all of that kind of stuff. So I try to stay off the roads on that day. Anywho, Anansi said he just chilling, like bro, man, from the 5th floor. Okay. All right, y'all. All right. We gonna go ahead and dig in. And for the mugs that ain't here, they just gonna have to catch up. What can I say? I'm starting off. Well, welcome to Dairy, y'all. Episode 4 of Welcome to Dairy had some interesting things going on. During the episode, like the involvement of Native Americans. We got to see, Native Americans, and they were dealing with Pennywise. And Pennywise, as we all know, is a shapeshifter. Right. So when the Native American people first experienced him, let's use that term, they experienced him as the Galoo, a giant moose thing. So shouts out for including the moose, the Galoo. The Shakapewa tribe. Okay. All right. Other things that happened in that episode that a lot of people probably didn't really pay much attention to, but I did. That face right there. Look at that. He was doing his mind thing. And that's creepy and scary looking, because he got real close on the camera like that. You want to know what was really creepy and scary? What's old girl's name? Marge. Yeah, get ready. This might be rough for some of y'all. Remember that? And then our girl got blamed. Our girl got blamed for it. So now she's headed back to the loony bin. What is episode 5 going to hold? I'll tell you one thing episode 5 held for me that I did like, and that stood out to me. Bonding with your child, even though it ended up creepy. Wifey should not be trying to hide the Pennywise stuff, because later on, Pennywise is going to be able to tap in the brains and pull that kind of stuff out. Nah, you lied to your husband, and all of that's going to come out. So, I mean, I get it. She down with the cause and all that, but she need to chop it up with her hubby. For real. She does need to chop it up with her hubby and not, do this slick little side shit, where she want to be an activist on the side, but she know they got in trouble the last place they was at. Let him know what's going on. Trust me, as a married man, the worst thing you can have happen in your household is when the spouse do a bunch of crazy stuff and don't tell you about it. And you have to find out about it later. So I can get where Leroy's coming from, not knowing about it. You know what I'm saying? He trying to keep them from getting in major trouble, but she's still doing that type of stuff. You know what I mean? So all in all, we learning about Pennywise. Pennywise been around for quite some time. For those of you that aren't, hip to the Pennywise mythology and all that stuff, thousands of years. You're also gonna learn about the turtle and the shine. I keep telling y'all about that. You see, because Pennywise is the evil and the turtle is the good. They are juxtapositioned opposite of one another. So how many of y'all are rocking with Welcome to Derry? The 5th episode is scheduled to premiere this Sunday. So you got time to catch up on episodes 1, 2, 3, and 4. I know that's Spanish. Leave me alone. What are we talking about in the comments? So from a moose to an old man, I think that was more of a I'm learning to adapt to the shapes here because I can't just brute force everybody. I gotta be able to finesse them too. And that's kind of like Pennywise's stock in trade. So, he is a payaso. That means clown. That means clown. I remember that. It's lots of things I remember that, what I'm saying, when I think about something or I see something and the Spanish, it just pop out. So thank you, Senora Sutherland, for teaching me. Oh, or should I say, gracias, Senora Sutherland. Anyway, he thought it was Dad that was in the water. Yeah, I remember that. But he wouldn't have had to deal with that if he had a talk. I feel like, anyway, I could be 100% wrong, but I feel like if he had voiced it and said, this is what's going on. Because if you think about it, nobody talks to their parents about Pennywise. Nobody in none of the movies. The miniseries, chapter 1, chapter 2. Why ain't y'all talking to y'all parents about this shit? This is serious. So can anyone tap into the shine? No, I do not think so. I only think people who have the ability to do so can tap into the shine. But don't quote me. Don't quote me. Don't quote me. Mythology changes constantly. Ask people at the MCU. It's changing all the time. But like I said, man, y'all pull up on Sundays, HBO Max. Welcome to Derry. There is a African American contingent there. It's 1962. So everything that was going down in 1962 with black and white is going down in Welcome to Derry. I recently watched the miniseries. They actually dropped N-bombs in that one. You know what I'm saying? They called what's his name? The black guy that stayed in Derry. They call, as a kid, they call him the N-word. Hard R. So yeah, I think they were not caring. They were not caring what was going on. But I appreciate genuine depictions because we live in a day and age now where there is an active campaign Project 2025, to justify atrocity and downplay decency. Don't believe me? All right. Because I ain't hear nobody else talking about Welcome to Dairy. So this is what we get ready to do right now. Oh, hey, Grand Madam. You just in time, dear. Boom. All right. Don't believe the imagery. That's left-wing media trying to get you to believe a narrative. Well, I only picked out one, but believe me when I say there are dozens upon dozens of pictures like that on the internet, ready for you to peruse at your leisure. Oh, that's not real. That's not real. Oh, that's fake news. Look, bruh, we done seen and heard things, haven't we? So I remember a time when a certain president was embroiled in scandal. And we looked past it. We said you need to believe what's best for Americans. You need to do what is in the best interest of Americans. Right? Ain't that what we were told? To believe and do what's in the best interest of Americans, y'all. And I've been thinking about that. I think about this movie called Civil War. Not Captain America Civil War. I'm talking about Civil War. And they going to get the president, y'all. They ain't wasting no time. They went after the president and caught it all on tape. You know what I'm saying? Filmed it all. Now, let me get back a second ago. I was talking about presidents or a president that was most definitely involved in scandal, but we managed to overlook it. We managed to rationalize it. Now, I was young, very young, when this man was president. I was a child when this man was a president, but this man made my mother curse like no other man I ever saw when he came on TV. So I did get that out of it. Come to find out, even though he says he's not a crook, we come to find out there was some crooked stuff going on during his regime. Maybe we owe it to ourselves to be a little more diligent about who we appoint, who we elect. You know what I'm saying? We never talk about those kind of things. And this is what results. Is it the president's fault? It is if the president's involved in it. It is if the president's involved in it. We can be ambiguous. We can debate it. No, he wasn't. Yeah, he was. It makes sense now. I've been so wrong. That kind of a thing. All right. Now what? That's a president that arguably abused his power. Now, we could argue about if he abused his power or not till the cows come home. But one thing we can't argue about, he lied about it. Okay, so I want to establish real quick, Democrat or Republican, IDGAF. If you're dirty, you're dirty. Period. We're not cherry picking. Well, this dirt is not. If you are in the office of the president of the United States and dirt can be directly pointed at your ass, you are dirty. Okay, so now we get to my man's in there. Okay. Now, here's the question that I always ask. Is media now the weapon that we use to destroy people? Now, understand something. We live in an age now of AI where I can make some stuff that look just like you and it say you was performing fellatio. And I got an image of you performing fellatio courtesy of AI. Do we refute that right away? Do we say, hey, that ain't me? Hey, that's a lie. I don't know about y'all, but if some video come out of me with my lips on a member, that's the very first thing. That's the first thing I'm refuting loudly and like a Negro. Man, I ain't no mother, period. That guy right there, that ain't what he did. Now, I ain't saying that man is the first executive officer to be Gok 3000 as well, but you're involved with Epstein. You said you stopped being involved with Epstein in the early 2000s. Well, if you're going to open the Epstein files on Republicans, then open the Epstein files on Democrats too. Yep, sure are. And if some of them mothers is doing the same type of stuff you was doing, they going down too. But right now, we're focused on you. See, when you shine a light on a deer, a funny thing happens. They freeze. Just like Okoye said, like an antelope in headlights. They freeze. He looked pretty frozen to me these days. He looks pretty immobilized these days. Okay. So why is it that, and this is me, if I want to know if my president, I'm not saying him, if I want to know if a president is squeaky clean, and most presidents are not, but I certainly want to know if he performing sex acts, because when that dude was performing sex acts, everybody wanted to know about it, didn't they? And we got to the bottom of it. So, dear right-wingers, don't be crying and bitching up because the pressure's on now. Take it on the chin. Just like y'all wanted Clinton to take it on the chin. Just like Nixon had to take it on the chin. That orange, you know what, is going to have to answer to something. But he's slick as Teflon, y'all. I give him that. He's slick as Teflon. He get out of some stuff. But that's what I'm saying. Man, we should have been on his bumper in 2016 when he was appointing judges like crazy. Which brings me to the crux of this topic. And this is a question for everybody in the chat, everybody listening. And this is the question that's been on my mind since everybody was like, yay, they're released. Have they been redacted? What you say, D? Have they been redacted? The Epstein files. Yeah. Have they been redacted? How would you know if they were redacted? Since we live in an age of AI. Man, I have watched people at jobs falsify documents. You telling me with the president's reputation and God knows what else online, they ain't gonna lie? They ain't gonna redact some shit? Well, you've been asking for the files all these years. Now you got them. Now you want to complain about them being redacted. Hell yeah, I do want to complain about them being redacted, because if they are redacted, you telling me you don't think he nowhere in there? Nowhere? Nowhere. But we looking at Epstein's brother's emails and files and stuff, and we finding stuff about him giving blowies. Get ready for the Epstein files. That's all I'm going to say. Get ready for the Epstein files. I hope you can take it. I hope everybody can take it. And yes, I'm being ambiguous on purpose, because I love for people to, and so if you are one of those people who are going to end up and don't say I didn't tell you before it happened. What we talking about in the chat? Donald told America what he was going to do day one, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he linked up with the Heritage Foundation. Swore up and down he didn't know the dude that was in charge of the Heritage Foundation, but we got video footage of his butt shaking hands with the head of the Heritage Foundation. Stop the cap. All I'm saying is, if you're going to be a dictator, at least have the balls and say, I am the dictator. Say I'm Trump the first, ruler of all, and all shall kneel before my iron hand. Why? Just because it's what you're doing. Just have the testicular fortitude to say, yes, I am a dictator and I embrace it. Because you know the American people ain't going to go for that shit. That's why. But he's a dictator in everything but self-proclamation. He don't want them Epstein files released. It's like what's that story? The fox and the grapes. This fox is jumping and jumping and jumping, and he's trying to get these grapes, and he can't get them grapes, and finally he just walk away. Oh, them grapes are probably sour anyway. What you jumping in the air for sour grapes for? Dingbat. Release the Epstein files. Oh, excuse. Release the Epstein files. Oh, deflection. Release the Epstein files. Oh, excuse. Release the Epstein files. Oh, deflection. Oh, all right. Release the Epstein files then. I don't care. That's what's going on. Make no mistake. Dirty is dirty, indeed. By we, you mean white America, because black folks been on his bumper. The lawyers for his victims are waiting for him to do exactly that. They are waiting for him to exactly. And is the man in jail. That's all I'm saying. He dirty as a 5-year-old in the backyard. Yeah. I really hope so. Come on, yo. I really hope justice actually gets served. Now, since I'm talking about Trump's ordeal, the releasing of the Epstein files, all this sort of stuff, I kind of want to share with y'all the MAGA mindset. Okay, and this is what I'm trying to break down to you, help you explain. I know you know, but just chill with me for a second and listen. Don't get excited. Listen. It's important. Okay. I had an exchange this morning. I call it an exchange. It probably wasn't an exchange, but and I'm gonna just go ahead and put it out there because I'm tired of effing around with it. I have a friend of mine that I share a group text with, and dude is super duper ultra mega diehard Mac. Okay, constantly being inundated with propaganda. That's the best way I can describe it, because the way it is disseminated in the group is in a way where if you want to put something out to teach somebody or to get someone to want to learn more about what you're teaching or trying, to give them information on, you don't talk down to them. That's first. Okay, if I came on this channel and said, y'all ain't read Got Your Man number 12 yet, what the hell's wrong with y'all? Y'all are stupid. Can you read? What's the matter with you? You don't like good you can't come at somebody like that and then expect them to want to learn something from you. How am I going to learn anything from you when your energy and your vibe have already turned me the hell off and I don't even want to fucking listen to you? So, you know what? Today's the day. You effing around and you doing the most. And today's the day that I done had it. I ain't gonna give out no names. It's 4 people in this group chat. These are cats I grew up with. You know what I'm saying? That I've been knowing since elementary school. You know what I'm saying? So to have this cat and I watched it happen. It happened gradually. And he just turned. That's the best way I can describe it. Just turned. And in his mind, his eyes have been open and he's never seen shit clear in his entire life. And we are all, what was the quote he used? We're all still on the plantation. And you know how they like to kick that history, that shared regurgitated history. Oh, Democrats are the ones responsible for the Ku Klux Klan. Yeah. All right. But what's going on right now? Like they always like to, that's the MAGA mindset. You can talk about the past, but when I talk about the past, you need to get over that. Oh, but you can bring up the damn past as much as you want to. See, that's what I mean. If they aren't controlling the narrative, they don't want to have a conversation with you. When you back them into a corner and tell them, stay on the subject of this fact right here, they deflect. Why are you deflecting? We weren't talking about that shit over there. We talk about this. Stay on target. stay on target, and it never happens. I'm tired. I posted that video in the group chat of the Karen who tried to profile, I think it was Boston, the Boston chief of police. The Boston chief of police is a brother, by the way. And this brother was just going into his apartment. And you know how they do. And they run up on somebody talking about, do you belong here? You know what my response is going to be. Somebody said, B, do you belong here? What gives you the right? Are you security? Did somebody put you in charge and tell you it's your job to patrol this apartment building and ask people if they belong there? You know what I'm saying? And my man Diabolical got a friend like that over in Georgia. Live in a nice property. Want to go fishing or where there's a man-made lake, but do you live here? What are you doing? He goes there and fishes weekly. What in the hell are you talking about, Karen? But anyway, got fired from her job, this Karen, for messing with the police chief, getting sued by the police chief, and got her lease canceled in the apartment building and got kicked out. Okay. Now, my MAGA friend didn't even bother to watch the video. And he's one of them people that love to say, oh, you didn't watch the video. Oh, you didn't pay attention to the video. Oh, why didn't you look at the video? Why didn't you look at the video? He had looked at the video, he'd have seen what it was about. But instead, he chose to say some shit like this. No, I never looked at whatever was posted. So why are you fucking talking? But why are y'all so fixated on race? Is it the media hyping isolated incidents? Fortunately for me, I'm good. I just left deep South Louisiana. Come on, y'all. I just left deep South Louisiana and I was treated very well by white folks. Please explain. I'll explain. I'm lucky or I have been faked out. I'm starting to think that you guys are racist. For some strange or bizarre reason, a white man, knowing I'm a black man, helped me out and paid me fairly. Thank God I approach men as men, and I don't think about it according to complexion. Trips me the fuck out. Oh, I was in Alexandria, Virginia. Come on, y'all. Tell me about Alexandria, Virginia. And then I'm going to tell you about how this guy dresses. Now, would it be safe to say, Kamoyo, that no matter what race you are, if you're in Alexandria, Virginia, wearing a t-shirt with an eagle and an American flag on it that says these colors never run and a fucking MAGA hat, are people going to mess with you down there? Probably not, because they know your weak-minded ass has been indoctrinated. Oh, ain't no need to mess with him. He gonna be one of the ones that's gonna be cleaning up for me after a while. You know what I'm saying? So here's your boy clapping back in this text. Think whatever you want. IDGAF anymore. If you had to watch the video, sir, you'd have seen it wasn't that type of party. The woman apparently lost her job because she racially profiled the chief of police because he was black. No, I'm not obsessed with race personally, but it's not a device a black person created. Be mad at the Germans who created the concept, but don't trip. I can ignore and reflect too. Oh, and deflect, not reflect, deflect. Okay? My other partner came in. That's the type of crap we face every day. Challenges as a man of color. I don't let it dictate the outcome. See, we sensible. But we ain't stupid. And I summed it up, basically. There's been a lot of talk, blah, blah, blah. I've lived in Alaska for over 30 years. I've never been attacked by a moose or a bear, ever. And I've been all up in the woods, too. It doesn't mean that shit can't happen. So you stay ready so you don't have to get ready. I don't see anything evil or disrespectful about that. And that's what when you cooning extra hard and that propaganda done just filled your brain up to the fucking hilt, you don't know how to rationalize. It's cognitive dissonance going super duper hard. So you ain't understanding that all I'm saying is just because you've never experienced that doesn't mean you can't, and it doesn't mean the shit don't exist. Because I've never experienced racism, mean it don't exist. But I'm a recipient of the systematic BS that goes on. I ain't saying it cripples me, but it sure doesn't help. I can't tell you where racism is because racists don't sit together in large groups. Not by and large. I mean, you got Proud Boys and Ku Klux Klan and stuff like that, but they ain't sitting around congregating every day. I'm not worried about them, to be honest. I'm worried about the judge who's a member of the Klan. I'm worried about a cop who's a member of the Klan. I'm worried about a lawyer who's a member of the Klan. I'm worried about a doctor who's a member of a Klan. And you can't tell me who is and isn't racist. But if I go down to Alexandria, Virginia, rocking my Adidas, if I go down to Alexandria, Virginia, and I pull up in my whip and my stuff's thumping, am I going to be treated the same way? That's the kind of shit I'm talking about. I ain't saying sit around and be racist, but don't be no benighted simpleton to the point where you think, oh, I can go anywhere in this country and no one's going to do anything to me. Maybe. Maybe not. But if that's the mindset, I suggest you keep your MAGA hat on and your "These Colors Never Run" t-shirt, because that's the past. It's like wearing red in blood territory. That's what gets you through. Oh, it ain't got nothing to do with that. Okay. But that's where I'm at with it. I'm not for the bullshit no more, is what I'm saying. So when you come at me about some stuff, man, y'all better be coming correct, because I'm shredding mugs. I'm destroying them. Don't say nothing else to me about that abomination of a human being or any of that type stuff. I'm not done with it. What's up in here? They slip into whataboutism. I ain't got time for that no more. I'm dipping, ducking, and dodging that shit like mask. I ain't dealing with that no more. Y'all can sit around and argue about that. And that's all he ever talks about. His job and MAGA shit. Okay, while your job is somewhat rudimentally interesting, I don't want to hear about immigrants that are keeping you from making money. But you just went down Louisiana and a white man paid you a fair wage. STFU. Sound like Karen was standing on the corner of FAFO. Period. That's all it was. And for some strange reason, I'm a racist for pointing out that Karen was standing on the corner of FAFO and Nancy. I ain't got no time for cooning, man. Kamoya, he said, fell out with a few folks over cooning. And let me be honest. 100 fucking percent transparency. I love that man like a brother. I would take a bullet for that man. That's how tight the friendship is. But I am not for the bullshit. I'm not. Until you get your shit together, I'm not messing with you. I don't want to hear that. If you can't sit on a phone for 10 minutes and talk about something besides your job and MAGA shit, I don't want to talk to you. If that's all you talking about, day in, day out, 24/7, 365, put some panties on that, dude. Don't nobody want to hear that all day long. You said nope, they congregate at family gatherings. Get him a used cowboy hat and some a used cowboy boot and some chapstick. Bruh, let him get his own cowboy boot and chapstick, man. He got all the answers. I can't tell him nothing. And he ain't willing to listen. And any sources I quote are fake news or media spins, that type of stuff. Okay. But he constantly throwing videos in here, but his shit ain't media spins. That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. And you can't even explain nothing like this to a person like that because they so gone. You know what? I'm good with it. I need the verses, y'all. I need y'all to get at me on this verse. I saw this on social media today, and it kind of threw me because I was like, who is winning that fight? On the left, we got Mercedes Misty Knight. Martial artist, all around badass and detective with a bionic arm. And on the right, we got Dinah Lance, aka Black Canary. Metahuman songbird and in the top 5 of best ass kickers in the DC universe. Who you got? The Bionic Babe or the Sonic Siren? What you doing? Thinking about it? Y'all thinking about it? Don't nobody got an opinion. Nobody. Okay, y'all needed time to think about it. All right, I'm gonna give y'all a few. I'm gonna give y'all a few. While you're thinking about it, let me know if you paid attention to Tom King and Ryan Sook's 6-issue miniseries called Best of the Best, where we saw Black Canary go toe-to-toe with Lady Shiva. That, by far, is probably one of the best feats I have seen Black Canary perform ever. Misty, Mercedes Knight. What have I seen her do that tops that? Because I won't. I want to somehow find a way for Misty to take this. I just don't see it. I don't. And I ain't even talking about the Sonic Cry. I'm talking about just Black Canary's hands. Have y'all seen Best of the Best? Black Canary got hands out of this world. Black Canary got hands for Lady Shiva. Lady Shiva had hands for Batman. Would we put Misty Knight in a fight with Batman and expect her to walk away? Hell, would we put Misty Knight in a fight with Lady Shiva and expect her to walk away or with that bionic arm? Let me see. Kamayo said, Dinah because of that scream and them hands. And I would even go so far to say, just because of the hands alone, she busting her a new one. Anansi said, does Black Canary's cry last as long as she wants, or does it die out after a while? I have seen her use it consecutively, but if she uses it continuously, it does tax her after a while. Again, like I said, I don't think Misty is going to be pressing Dinah to the point where she feel like I got to use my canary cry to put this chick down. I don't even think it's going to come to that. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. I mean, again, Anansi and Kamoyo have sounded off about, well, Anansi didn't officially sound off, but yeah, if someone out in the chat or hiding in the back knows a way that Misty would be able to beat Dinah in a conflict, let me know. Because there would have to be some prep involved for Misty, I think. She'd have to prep something. I mean, and she'd have to have some kind of foreknowledge of what Black Canary is capable of doing. Oh, and here's Theo chiming in. Theo said, we haven't been shown Misty to be on that level of a fighter consistently enough to warrant her beating Dinah. Okay, so Theo says Misty loses because she don't have no feats. Maybe we need to change that so we could give Misty some interesting battle feats and make her a more formidable fighter. So her being able to outmaneuver Sam ain't it? Well, no, I'm sorry that I brought that up, y'all. I won't say that again. Let's see what else about. Okay, we did Misty versus Dinah. Cause I ain't nobody. Yeah. Is there any reason for me to continue pursuing this line of conversation right now, or are we 100% convinced that Dinah gonna drag her? Dinah gonna drag her? Okay, Dinah's gonna drag her. All right. Something else I've been thinking about, and I just started thinking about it recently. Okay, Theo says, I mean, her being trained by Danny and Shang-Chi needs to more so be on display. Well, in her debut, all the way back in Marvel Premiere 21, which is illustrated by Arvell Jones. She comes out throwing karate kicks and stuff at Danny. So she had already been trained somewhat in the martial arts. And if I'm not mistaken, she also received training from the Sons of the Tiger. Lynn, Bob, and Abe. We remember them. Okay. Misty has an anti-metal grip, a freeze blast, and anti-gravity fields. Do we think that's enough to give her the edge? That's my thought. Is any of that enough to give Misty the edge in a fight? And is anti-gravity proof against sonic attacks? And is it? I don't know. I'll be honest. I don't know the inner workings of how whatever that is she had. And I assume it's all built into the arm. So How is it employed? Is it employed in an arc? Is it employed in an AOE? Isn't it? I mean, you know what I'm saying? How does the anti-gravity field work? I mean, anti-metal grip, freeze blast, that's self-explanatory. If she can land that, possibly. Say Misty gonna have to employ all that. Because if she goes straight heads with it, that's a nothing burger too. We already know Dinah has fought beings with superhuman strength. Matter of fact, being stronger than Misty and beat them. So yeah. And if the super strength becomes something that she can't overcome, I'm gonna get close and I'm gonna sonic blast you. So I don't know. I would say 7 times out of 10, Dinah wins when these two meet up. You know, and those 3 times probably being Misty employing the extras in her bionic arm to overcome Dinah. So there. Is that a fair enough assessment? You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to just boo-boo on Misty and, you know, make it sound like, she trash. Dinah gonna beat her day. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Dinah gonna beat the brakes off of her. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like she's gonna come out on top. Anti-gravity fields mean repulsors. Oh, yeah. She's getting drugged. Repulsors ain't doing nothing to Dinah unless you lay her out on the first shot. And you hit her with some kind of energy blast or shoot an energy blast at her, you already warranted that sonic cry. So hopefully it's, again, proof against sonic attacks. That being said, the moment I know you've all been waiting for. The moment I know you all been waiting for. The moment I know you all been waiting for. Thoughts? I know Theo has some thoughts about this book. I want to hear from the Rock With Me Nation. What is it I want to hear? Okay. Let's do it like this. It is a Black Panther 60th anniversary special. Why are we focused on the Cold Tiger? I'm going to say that again because I don't think nobody heard me. It is a Black Panther 60th anniversary special. Why are we focused on Casper Cole? Anybody? 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 Or have we have we already beat this topic to death? Question. And I am serious at 17 heart attacks. How many of y'all are buying that book? How many of y'all are buying that book? Because I know it's some people, I like the art, or I like the How many of y'all buying that book? I mean, if you can't even give me an original story and got the nerve to have him on the effing cover, don't ask why. Don't ask me why I say what I say when it comes to Marvel and characters of color. Don't ask me why for me it's no T'Challa, no dollar. That's why. Oh, and did I mention when that book comes out, Black Panther will have exactly 0 monthly titles. You know what I say? Why bother giving an anniversary book to a character that don't even have a comic? Don't even have a regular monthly comic. Why? And they've been doing it since the 80s. Since the 80s. They've been hitting us with these little twos and fuse runs with T'Challa. Christopher Priest has the distinction of having the longest run on a Black Panther book. Will we ever see a Black Panther comic book reach issue 100 on the newsstand? No, because you know why? If a comic book reaches 100 issues, the publisher has no justifiable reason to cancel it other than people stop buying. Do y'all hear me? What I'm saying? The Scarlet Witch has a comic book. And they pumping that shit hard. They're about the Adventures of Wanda. In terms of comic book characters at Marvel, when she first started out, Wanda Maximoff was a nobody. An also ran character who couldn't even master her abilities. And when she did use her abilities to their maximum, she'd pass out. Seemed like that was a theme in the 60s. Sue Richards would do the same thing. Jean Grey would do the same thing. We don't want women to be strong. We just want them to be on the team. But then, all of a sudden, people start paying attention to Wanda. Not all at once. Hell, not at all if she wasn't with the Vision. Right? But then a funny thing happened. And the Scarlet Witch got put on the big screen in 2015. Since 2015, Wanda Maximoff's popularity has done nothing but grow. Got a Disney series. Was in a major Marvel movie. After Avengers Endgame. What they do with the Black Panther? What are they doing with the Black Panther? I'm gonna tell y'all what they're doing with the Black Panther right now. They getting ready to put him on the shelf again. He gonna go away for a couple years. Then when that movie come back out, you gonna get a miniseries. Don't kill the messenger. That's been happening since 1988. What you want me to do? I want to see T'Challa just like y'all do. We done wrote to the company. So we just got to keep writing to the company forever, ever. We shouldn't have to. Snyderverse people didn't have to do that. But see, they say things like, don't equate it to race. It's not a race issue. Can you tell me what kind of a world we live in when Wanda Maximoff gets 10,000 times more shine than the Black Panther? It's done purposeful. Let's make her the Sorcerer Supreme. I had no problem with that. What does that mean, though? What up, Gray? You pulled up at just the right time. What does it mean? Is Wanda's book gonna last? Or are they gonna cancel it after like 5-6 issues, after 12 issues? And somebody do me a favor. Check the sales on her book. See where it sits in the top 50, in the top 25. But they still gonna keep making that book. It's the same thing I said. I did a video where I asked the question, how did Miles Morales get to 200 issues before the Black Panther? We can only promote one at a time. We're working on Miles right now. Y'all put that other African fellow over to the side. Enjoy Miles. That's what you're getting. Spin? Spin? We don't even want to call you Spider-Man no more. You're Spin. That's a terrible name. Wanda got an ongoing and a promotion. But we can't do that for T'Challa. Y'all, do we see it? Is it just me? Am I creating a narrative, or do y'all actually see it? Follow the timeline. I done did so many videos on this. 88 and 89. He had a 4-issue miniseries by Peter Gillis and Dennis Cowan. He had the Marvel Presents run of Panther's Quest, which was like, each story was like 4 to 5 pages, maybe 10. You didn't even get, it was shared with 3 other characters. So you didn't get a full comic every month. Ran from Marvel Presents 13 through Marvel Presents 37. And then nothing. We didn't hear from Black Panther again in a monthly until damn near 10 years later. Christopher Priest run was like, what, 98, 99? So 89 was the last time T'Challa even had a book with his name on the cover. 10 years later. 10, 9 or 10, however you want to look at it. Then we got Priest till 03. Fortunately, somebody was loving the wave, and Hudlin pushed on through with that one. Then we got Coates. And there was some stuff speckled in between, but by and large, I'm going to give you a little run. Tell me this. Does interest drop off that sharply on Black Panther and Wakandan stuff that we just need to lay off bothering making a book for years? For a decade? I ain't even thinking about that character. I'm going to put him in a side story in a Defenders comic book. I'm going to put him in a side story in a Captain America comic. I'm gonna put him in a side story. I'm put him in a Daredevil side story. That's all side story. He's a supporting character. He's also ran. Wanda was a supporting character. Wanda was a also ran. But now she got an ongoing and a promotion. You see how they, and I love seeing y'all on X talking about this book. Thank you. I love seeing y'all. This is how y'all gonna do to y'all. I love seeing that. Keep saying that. Keep being vocal. Keep it in their eyes. Let them see y'all are playing. Y'all are effing around with our character and we don't like it. Now, I'm driving a narrative, aren't I? But the people I'm driving the narrative to agree with it. So I'm not driving a narrative. I'm just commiserating with like-minded individuals. Anyway, Anansi said Black Panther, $1.3 billion movie. Scarlet Witch, not so much. But Marvel still treats him like crap. Do y'all see? Do y'all see? I ain't even got to talk. That's my man's there talking about it. Do y'all see? Oh, but they gave you Wonder Man. I ain't asked for that, though. I asked for T'Challa. If you gave T'Challa the attention you give Wonder Man, you'd have a hit on your hands. Anyway, T'Challa having a 60th anniversary coming up, and he has a 4-issue miniseries and a special. I'm still working on my email.
I'm sorry. I didn't understand that.
I'm going to have to change Bigby's name. Anyway, though, in closing on that topic, I just want to say it's not our fault that after a $1.3 billion movie, the Black Panther is still a C-list character by Marvel standards. Because if he's not a C-list character, why do you treat him that way? If he's an A-list character getting C-list treatment, that's an injustice that needs to be rectified. stay on they bumper. Just like what Gray doing. Stay on they bumper. Keep telling them about that janky stuff they doing. Hold them accountable. Hold their feet to the flame. We don't have plans to do anything. Yeah, I'm well aware you don't have plans to do anything. That's why I'm sending you this email right now to tell you have plans. Make plans. Oh, well, we want our plans to coincide with the movie. How about this? Have a series and then have that series going until that movie comes out, and then that series can coincide with the movie like you do everything else. X-Men wasn't canceled when the X-Men movie came out. It was trash, but it coincided with something. Avengers wasn't canceled when the Avengers movie came out. Hell, Punisher had a comic book when the Punisher movie came out. Deadpool. They don't want to, y'all. Period, point blank. If you done had all these opportunities and it showed that it is a profitable IP and you do nothing, this is the same mindset that said, I'd rather have an elderly old man as president than a black woman who's competent and has been in politics for a number of years. That's the mindset. That's what you're dealing with. And because this is the current political climate, we want, they seem to think they're a dying breed. And to a certain degree they are, but they're not going to be, I guess the numbers are supposed to have it. Anyway, that's a whole different conversation. Let's look at some new comics. Let's do that. And bring down this energy a little bit. I got a few comics and a trade paperback. So y'all are going to get a lot of info today, comic-wise. Okay. Let's get this out of the way. Shadow Cabinet. It has the 4 Shadow Cabinet issues as well as the milestone 30th anniversary special. All of that's in here. I don't think I read the milestone 30th anniversary special. Look, I got it along with 4 issues of the Shadow Cabinet. Yay! So, there you go. Shadow Cabinet. Shouts out to my man Joe Illich. I'm gonna have to reach out. I keep saying I'm gonna reach out, but I'm gonna have to reach out for real and reach out. Gotcha Man, issue number 14 from Mad K. Apparently, all of the killer whale mechs were not destroyed. And there were hundreds of them. So Gotcha Man has got to infiltrate the Galactor base, sabotage the killer whale mech production, and blow everything up. Typical Gotcha Man type mission. But there's a twist at the end. And I'm not going to tell you what the twist is. I'm just going to let you figure it out. Well, I'll tell you after I do the review and the deep dive. Space Ghost number 5 by my man David Pepos, art by Jonathan Lau. Still banging. The Crystalline Empire and the space sharks That sounds weird to me. The Crystalline Empire, ruled by Glasstor. I don't know how I feel about that name either. Glasstor. And he's up against King Remora. And their two empires have been fighting for thousands of years. Space Ghost garnered some peace. Somebody was a saboteur. And it's pretty obvious who the person is that's got all of this BS going. And then we figure out that individual is an agent of Tempest, the Time Master. Remember, Tempest, the Time Master, is the overreaching villain in Volume 2 of the Space Ghost run. Gonna be interesting to see what happens with Tempest. Because right now, from what I'm seeing, Tempest kind of strikes me like Kang. Like that same kind of like he can pull somebody out of time and put him somewhere else, or he can distort or displace, with time-based power. So it'll be real interesting to see how this story develops with Tempest. Also, Jan kicks a little ass. And Jace is talking trash in the face of danger. I like that. It's a good read. Racer X, number 3. Now, here's what I need to tell y'all just from reading this. Racer X and the Speed Racer comic book coincide with one another. What I mean is the same events that are going on in Speed Racer, an issue ahead of Racer X, are going on in Racer X as well. So, what I mean by that is, remember the deep dive? Issue number 4. Events in issue number 4 carry on or expand more or less, or you get like a recap in the issue of Racer X before it. So there were events from Speed Racer number 3 in Racer X issue number 2. So you following it? Racer X is an issue behind Speed Racer, but the events in Speed Racer are expanded and encapsulated sometimes in Racer X's book. Now, I don't want to spoil it for you, but Racer X got a serious reveal at the end of this book. I'm not going to spoil it for you. It's that same great Alpine race where we're dealing with the car acrobatic team and Kim Jugger. Kim Jugger even makes an appearance in this book. So we get to see what happened when Racer X says, go ahead, Speed. I'll take care of the car acrobatic team. Good stuff. Now, the last entry is one you might not expect, because I was not expecting it, because up until I bought this book, I didn't care for the art of the artist. It is the return of Youngblood. And dare I say it, Rob Liefeld is actually drawing a little better. Actually, a lot better. You telling me Rob Liefeld did these pencils? Those bodies look symmetrical. Really? Those bodies look symmetrical. Nah, look at Chapel. Look at Chapel. He's pouched out. Oh. I guess Chapel couldn't let go of the pouches. Not bad. I mean, he ain't got them funny legs that look weird and the chest all rolled over on him. He looked like he actually. He said, "I'm gonna do right." Look, is that an okay image? I mean, it's symmetrical. It ain't. It looks okay to me. Am I tripping? Am I tripping? Did he actually like go back and learn how to draw? Cause it looks decent. He say maybe Liefeld was having an off day. His art was good for once. Oh, wait a minute. Looking at Die Hard. That's a little asymmetrical right there. Rob's being Rob. But anyway, he is fighting someone named Xerxes the Conqueror. And Xerxes is strong enough to do that to Bad Rock. Took him and tossed his ass off a boat into the water. So Xerxes ain't no punk. Xerxes is going to be giving Youngblood problems. I wish Jim Lee would take his butt back over to Image and resurrect Wildcats. Because I love Wildcats. I like Wildcats more than I like Youngblood, if I'm being honest. I liked Cyberforce. I liked Wetworks. You know what I'm saying? I liked a lot of them, them titles that just disappeared, went away. Did we just get tired of Cyberforce and Youngblood and all of that stuff in the 90s? And it's just like, Spawn. Spawn is the only one that survived. Let's see. Let's take it back. Let's take it back in the day. We had Todd McFarlane. We had Mark Silvestri. We had Eric Larson. We had Mark Liefeld. We had Will Portacio, who came along later, but the original was Jim Valentino. But anyway, the McFarlane, Lee, Liefeld, Larson. We're Image. We make an Image. Okay. Larson had the Savage Dragon. Lee had Wildcats. And Valentino has Shadowhawk. And of course, McFarlane was Spawn. Of those books, Spawn is the only one that got 300 and something plus issues. Why is that? Maybe because Spawn the only one. Maybe Spawn didn't have a bunch of pouches. Oh, and Stormwatch. And George Washington Bridge. I need to make a custom GW bridge. Bigger comics publishers bought them out and buried them. Todd didn't fall for that. Even the Savage Dragon? I thought the Savage Dragon was and then Invincible came along. I mean, the Image line is in no danger of perishing anytime soon. Battle Beast, man. And I hope maybe, and I know I've said this before, but we're really gonna dive into it when we get. We had to ask Joe Illidge about, hey man, who we need to talk to and press them about a Bloodletter month. I mean, 'cause don't get me wrong, Witchblade's cool, but the sexy siren thing, need to take that over to IDW or Dynamite or whoever's doing Vampirella right now. That's where that's where that need to be. But I like it. I like what I saw so far. The return of an old Image character at the end of this book. When I do my reviews, y'all gonna be like, what? I wondered where he was all this time. Yeah. But quick question for y'all. I went and I told y'all recently I went and seen The Running Man, and I liked it. It was better because it focused more on the novel rather than trying to remake that stuff Arnold Schwarzenegger did. So my question becomes, are there other movies by Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone that should be remade? If so, what movies by these two archaic 80s actors do you think should be remade? Come on, yo. Say Rambo. Who will we get to play Rambo? Who in the 2020s is got the chops and the look to play John Rambo? And then we had a reimagining of Conan the Barbarian. That ain't go so great. I think. Oh, great. That is an amazing idea. I 150,000% love Nighthawks. I love that movie. I mean, and they underplayed it so much. They made it sound like it was just trash. And it had big name actors, at least actors that was big at the time. It had a coherent plot. What happened to Nighthawks? It was a great movie. Sylvester Stallone, Billy D. Williams, Rutger Hauer, Persis Kambata, bruh. Lindsay Wagner, the Bionic Woman, was in it. That was a good movie. I don't care what nobody say. That's why I say you can listen to a critic if you want to, but that movie completely kicked ass as a thriller. It was a fantastic movie, and the plot, the pacing, all of it. It was good. And coming off of Rocky movies, it was a refreshing change of pace for Sylvester Stallone. That was a good movie. I'm going to watch Nighthawks this weekend. That's a good-ass movie. I mean, it was just a good movie. Yeah, y'all ain't check that out. But I was thinking John Cena in Commando. And Jamie Lawson in the role that Ray Don Chong played. We got a movie there? What we think about that? I would go see that. I would go see a new Commando. And since we all, we got all these John Wick type movies where you just dealing with a whole bunch of people at the same time, shoot, I still ain't seen nobody beat the crap out of a group of people like John Matrix did with nothing but garden tools or stuff that was in a shed. Got busy on them. Oh, that would work too, Gray. Matter of fact, that's an even better choice there, Gray. Alan Richson. Oh yeah, because he's an absolute dinosaur right now. Yeah, Alan Richardson would be perfect as John Matrix. Good call, Gray. Good call. Damn good call. Yeah, I would go see that movie. I would totally go see that movie. Another Sylvester Stallone movie. Oh, Demolition Man. Demolition Man. Woo! Oh, Rambo. They actually got a Rambo? Apparently, some guy named Noah Centineo. Noah Centineo Anansi is the same guy who played Adam Smasher in Black Adam. If I'm not mistaken, I read somewhere that I think Noah Centineo is also playing Ken in the Street Fighter movie. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Noah Centineo is playing Ken. Rambo prequel movie, which I think is supposed to take place before First Blood. Oh, well, then it better be John Rambo murdering a whole bunch of people in Nam or whatever war he was in. Patrick Schwarzenegger rebooting the Conan franchise. It does need to be rebooted because Jason Momoa stunk that shit up something terrible. That Conan movie was hot garbage. Hot, steaming garbage. Oh yeah, Noah. Yeah, he's been bulking up. Yeah, I wish Patrick Schwarzenegger would bulk up for a Conan role because we don't need no little small Conan. Yeah. What else? Yeah, I would definitely. Who would we get to play John Spartan? Who would play John Spartan in a Demolition Man remake? And who would we get to play Simon Phoenix? I would probably get Lakeith Stanfield. You think Lakeith Stanfield could do a decent Simon Phoenix? Who would be John Spartan? That's what I want to know. Who would be John Spartan? Who y'all got for John Spartan? I don't know about them Noah Centineo, but there's folks out there. Do we think Glenn Powell would make a good good John Spartan? Just color his hair black, make him a John Spartan? Because I mean that guy, man, Glenn Powell, it could very easily be the next Captain America. But yeah, he knows how to bulk up for a role. And even Cobra, I think he would make a great Marion Cobretti. But yeah, I mean, they had some actioners. Arnold Schwarzenegger made this movie called Raw Deal, where he infiltrated the mafia and he got left on the inside undercover. And I always like how he do. Well, then I'm just gonna shoot everybody up. But yeah, that was a decent movie. I wouldn't mind seeing Raw Deal again. Or even what was that one joint called? Him and James Belushi, they was in this movie called Red Heat, where the American police and the KGB teamed up to catch this killer. And we just had giant Arnold Schwarzenegger out going to beat people up. Need somebody with presence to do that though. Presence and size. Gray said, I was thinking Lakeith Stanfield. Chris Evans. Yeah. Gray said, Red Heat is goated. I like Red Heat too, man. Glenn Powell or Wyatt Russell. Wyatt Russell. Yeah. Yeah, Kurt Russell's boy. He could definitely. Hey, Wyatt Russell could be in a remake of Tango and Cash. Yeah, boy. Yeah, we cooking with gas now, y'all. Red Heat and Raw Deal. Yes, sir. Red Heat and Raw Deal. Definitely. The Specialist. Ooh, okay, 90s. Okay, I remember the Specialist. Okay, so damn, we done named off like a good 8-9 movies that that will probably work like that. Okay. Y'all, I forgot who I was talking to. Y'all the demographic. Y'all the demographic. Now, what are we going to have going on tomorrow? Friday Vibing. Friday Vibing is what we're going to be doing tomorrow. I encourage you, get one person to pull up to the live with y'all tomorrow, because we are going to be covering with images and video footage the first 4 episodes. First 4 of Avengers Earth's Mightiest. Let me give y'all a little bit of background. Avengers Earth's Mightiest came out in 2012 and ran for 2 seasons. I forget the number of episodes, but it is copious. And never has a TV show stuck so close to comic book canon while not sticking close to comic book canon. And that is what you got from Avengers Earth's Mightiest. And I think that is what made it appeal so much to us, because they got it right by getting it wrong. But you got it wrong by respecting what you thought was right. Case in point, the Avengers' first fight as a team was not against Graviton. So the reimagining adds factors, and it's kind of like poses the question, what if the Avengers were formed in a cinematic universe? Because it seems like that's kind of what they were leaning towards, because we got Black Widow out of nowhere. We had Hawkeye. It's like they took everybody that was in the Avengers movie and said, hey, we're going to put them in this cartoon. And it worked because they stuck to canon. You know what I'm saying? You didn't get Captain America first issue, I'm in the Avengers. First episode, I'm in the Avengers. You brought him in. So if this goes the way that I hope it goes, this will become a segment that we do every Friday. So y'all want to make sure that y'all pull up for that. Also, too, you want to make sure you watch and or remember the first 4 episodes of Avengers Earth's Mightiest. As I recall, when they first introduced Avengers Earth's Mightiest, at least if we do this correctly, the first 4 episodes focused on the Avengers individually. And then you got the breakout 2-parter. So probably what we're going to be looking at tomorrow. Y'all make sure that y'all pull up for it. I'm going to be there. My man Theo's going to be there. And we're going to have us a nice little time. Bring what you drink. Bring what you smoke. And we're going to vibe. But check it out, y'all. Thank you, Gray. Thank you, Kamoyo. Thank you, Anansi. Thank you, Theo. Thank you, Grand Madam. Thank you, Groovy. Thank you, everybody else that pulled up here tonight and had a little something to say, dropped a little opinion, made me feel real good about who I am, corrected me, checked me, vetted me, all that. I appreciate everything because I take correction. That's it for now, y'all. But fret not, I'll be coming at you with another one of them other ones. And until I do, y'all be good to each other. Your man Sideways.